Hello Stampers, welcome. It's Wednesday night and you know what that means. It is time for my Wednesday night Facebook Live with the Wexford Stamper. My name is Barbara Reed, I'm the Wexford Stamper, and tonight we are starting our Christmas series. I'm calling it Creating for Christmas. And our week 1 project is this adorable little treat box here. There we go, trying to get it right up there, up close and personal. And this holds a delicious treat, which we'll get to very shortly. Hope everyone is having a good week, and the weather the last few days has felt a little bit like the holidays, so this kind of is a great time to get started. So let's go ahead, and before we get into our project, let's talk a little bit about the products that I'm going to be using for this project. All right, if you have your mini catalog anywhere by, I am going to be using products from this enormous suite. It's called Lights Aglow, and it is a beautiful suite. And why I say this is such an enormous suite is because it has 2 bundles in it. So it has 2 sets of dies and 2 sets of stamps. So that is a very large suite. All right, let me show you up close a little bit the stamp sets and dies that I'm going to be using. From this one, this bundle is called the Christmas Lights bundle. And I will be using the Snowflake die from this one to make my box. And then the other, I'm going to be using, in this bundle, I'm going to be using the stamp set. And this bundle is called Brightest Glow. And I'm going to be using these sentiments. And these sentiments are amazing. Really, really great. This is a great set to have if you're a new stamper and don't have a lot of Christmas sentiments. This one really covers them all different sizes for the outside, for the inside. So it's a really, really great choice. And then finally, I'm going to be using an old favorite. You guys have seen this for quite a while. This one I used for all of my Halloween projects, and it's called Gingham Garden. But if you notice, it's got so many different colors that this can really be used all year round. Okay, I used the black and the pumpkin pie for my Halloween projects. Tonight I'm going to be using the mint macaron. You can easily use the garden green or the real red gingham for this project as well. And then these more pastel colors I'm going to be using into the spring. So this is a really, really great pack, and it comes with 48 12 by 12 sheets, and it's just so many possibilities with it. All right, well, let's get back to the work table here. And here again is my cute little box. And inside we have a Christmas favorite of mine. It is the Little Debbie Snowflake Brownie. These are out every year, and I just love them. They're so good and very, very inexpensive. If you have to make a lot of a certain gift to give out to friends or neighbors or children in a classroom, this is a really great project. And let me show you. These are easy to find in your local supermarket. I've seen them in Walmart. So these are really easy to find. You get 5 brownies in a box, and it's less than $2 when I bought it. So it's a really, really inexpensive gift that you can really dress up with a cute little box. All right, so let's go ahead and put this back in our box. The back end of the box is closed shut, and then the top is a fold-in flap. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put that aside. What you're going to start with is a piece of mint macaron cardstock, and this is cut at 6 1/8 by 6 3/8. Okay, and before I go any farther, I want to remind you that there is always a PDF available on my website that you can download with all the directions and all the products that I'm using. All right, so let's get back to that now. Here is our piece, sized at 6 1/8 by 6 3/8. I'm going to go ahead and put it up here on my board on the long side first. So on the long side, we're going to score at 5/8, and 5/8 is 1 tick mark past half. So we got 5/8, 2 7/8, that's 1 tick mark before 3, 3 1/2, 5 3/4. All right, those are our first 4 score lines. Now we're going to turn it on the shorter side, which is the 6 1/8 side. And this side we're going to go at 5/8 again. 4 7/8, 5 1/2. All right, that is all our scoring for today. All right, I'm going to grab my bone folder here, and we're going to go ahead and fold on all our score lines. Okay, a bone folder is a great tool to have when you're putting together boxes. You fold on the score lines, and it does a great job creasing that score line and breaking down the fibers there, so that your boxes will come together really, really nicely. So there we go. We have all those score lines creased. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some cutting. All right, I'm going to grab my template here. Here is a template that's also on my website, on my blog, excuse me, and also on my PDF to show you exactly what your box will look like after you crease your score lines and cut away the excess. All right, so now I'm going to grab this one, and you're going to notice at the bottom here you have one thin horizontal strip, and at the top here you have 2. We're going to focus on the bottom first, so hold it so that you have the bottom at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut up to that first horizontal score line here. And I'm going to cut all the way across. Oh, let's try again. This is the edge that we're going to use to attach the box together. So here we're going to totally take away this bottom one in the right-hand corner. And then we're also going to take away these 2 little top squares. Okay, so this edge here, we're going to put our adhesive on, and that is going to go inside the opposite edge of the box to close the box. All right, now let's go to the bottom. Okay, the next square at the bottom, we're going to cut up to the first horizontal, and then we're going to wedge a little bit to create that little tab. And the reason we make the tabs is so when we put the boxes together, there is not a lot of cardstock all caught up in the corners, and it sometimes can make it difficult to put the box together. All right, so now we have our bottom completely done. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to turn it around to the top. Okay, let's turn it this way so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so now we're going to be going through 2 horizontal score lines. So let's do all 3 of those before we start cutting away pieces. All right, so I went up and I cut all 3 of those vertical score lines up to the second horizontal score line. Okay, these we're creating little flaps that are going to fold inside the completed box. Okay, so you're going to take away a little bit on each side of that flap. So you're going to remove the top square, and then you're going to wedge the bottom square. Okay, now we don't need 2 flaps on our box because we only need to close it with 1 flap. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn this here, and you're going to fold down this flap, the one that's closest to your edge. And you're going to fold down that teeny tab, and then you're going to cut this completely off right on the score line. Okay, because you really only need one flap to close up your box. Okay, so there we have it. That is completed. All right, let's go ahead and turn here to the flap. I'm going to just take a little nip off each side of the box here just to help it slip into the box a little easier once we build it. Okay, now before we go ahead and build it, let's turn it over so that we have the outside of the box showing. Okay, you're going to have 2 pieces of cardstock, of DSP, and remember I said we're going to be using the Gingham Garden in the Mint Macaron, and these 2 pieces are cut at 4 1/8 by 2 1/8. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn those over. Either side of this would work, so it's really up to you. I kind of like the larger gingham a little bit, but it's really your call. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this one, and I'm going to center it right on that large panel on the front of the box. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the back. Okay, gonna go ahead and center that on the large back panel. And I like to do the gluing before I put the box together because you can use a lot more muscle on them when you're trying to get them to adhere well before you put your box together. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put our box together. We're gonna put some glue on this end here that we created first. It's the end that has no tabs on top or bottom. And then we're going to turn the box over. So we're looking at the inside. We're going to fold this side of the box over, and then we're going to fold that small end over the glued end. And then I'm just going to go ahead and push it down, giving it some time for the glue to stick. And then we have the box, first step, coming together. Then we're going to go to the bottom. Okay, this is the bottom of the box. We're going to push in our 2 small tabs first. Then we're going to push in the back flap. And we're going to put a little bit of glue on the front tab. I'm going to just hold that for a bit, and then you can kind of just push it down onto your work surface. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab one of our brownies, and it slides right in there perfectly. Okay, close up the tabs and close up the flap. There we go. All right, so there's our box all done. Let's go ahead and do some quick embellishing on the front. Now what I used the die that makes the snowflake, and it's actually 2 pieces. You have the inside piece that kind of makes the details, and then you have this outside piece that makes your border. So you want to make sure you have them nested inside one another before you put it on your paper. And the paper I used is the glimmer paper, white glimmer paper. It's available. It's in the annual catalog along with some red and green glimmer paper, but I thought that was going to be really, really nice for the box. Since we have a snowflake brownie, we'll stick with that theme. So what you're going to do is you're just going to turn over your glimmer paper snowflake, and you're going to go ahead and put just a couple of dimensionals on the back. Okay, and you want to pull off the paper on the back, and you're going to go ahead, and I'll bring this down so you can see what I'm comparing it to. I'm going to go ahead and place my snowflake right on the left-hand side of the box. All right, then I'm gonna grab myself a piece of mint macaron scrap, and I'm gonna bring in my sentiment. Okay, this sentiment is from the same suite, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp on it with mint macaron ink. You could use black if you want. You could actually do some white embossing, would be very pretty too. But I just wanted to kind of do the tone-on-tone look. All right, then I'm going to grab my 1 3/8 inch circle punch. And if you don't have this, you may have a size that's similar, or you may have a die, a circle die that would work. This is just a perfect fit. The words just fit in there perfectly. You can see I'm getting ready to punch it out. There we go. There. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place that right on the center of my snowflake, excuse me, with a dimensional. Okay. Put that right there. There we go. All right. Last thing we have to do, I'm going to bring in some of the festive pearls. These are so pretty. They have gold, silver, and then I'm not sure, I think they might be balmy blue, but they work so great for this project. I put it right, the balmy blue ones right on, I've got to find how we get it open, right on the box, and I think it just blends right in perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and get the festive pearls out. I'm going to grab my pick tool, and you can see there's also some red ones up here. I think that is cherry cobbler. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab these cute little pearls. When you use your pick tool, it's so much easier than trying to pick them up with your fingers. I'm going to put one there. Okay, I'm going to put one here. I always like to go in odd numbers or groups of 3, kind of make a triangle. So there you have it. There is my box. I wanted to start out our series nice and quick with a nice, quick and easy one to get you started. But this is such a great project. Very inexpensive. You could make these in large numbers and it won't cost you a lot of money. So there we have it. There is our first Creating for Christmas project. And I will be back next Wednesday for another great Christmas project. So I'll see you again next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Take care. Bye-bye now.